Hello, I am here to do Michigan State Board Prep. Little tips and little things that could probably help you out for your Michigan State Board Manicuring Nail Tech State Test. One of the things I did is I went to the Dollar Tree. When you go to the Dollar Tree and look where they sell socks and scarves and stuff like that, there's little boxes by clothespins. They're about this thick, little square boxes. They have plastic bags in there. And in those plastic bags, you'll have bags like this. I believe this is what they call a large size bag. It's a giant Ziploc to help me with my test. So I got like 2 boxes of the large. I got 1 extra large, and then I had got a 2X bag. And the reason why I tell you to get a 2X bag is all your miniature bags and stuff that you do for prep will go inside of that bag. And the reason why I say that is because when you take the test, they tell you, get your supplies out. Once we tell you that's it for setup, that's it. So to avoid you missing anything or forgetting to put stuff or going through zippers and stuff like that, because they check you when you come in. They want to make sure you have no personal items and you're not cheating. You haven't written any notes or anything. So to avoid all of that, because they're going to be all in your face. So to avoid all of that, go to Dollar Tree. Spend you like $3. Get you 2 boxes of the large, because I believe like 2 come in there or 3. I thought I had another box, but I couldn't find it. And get you 1 extra large and 1 2X bag. And the reason why I said that, the biggest bag, all the little bags go in there. And then use the extra large bag for your trash. It's really not trash, but for the sake of state board, trash. You're actually gonna take it home and unpack it, as I did. Another tip is, if you're in school and they give you a kit, if they have school supplies for you to use the school supplies. Don't crack open your kit. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why should you? Because who is going to run around looking for forms, resin, activator for the wrap service for your mannequin hand? Who's going to do that? So I would suggest, if you are in nursing school, if you're in a cosmetology class or a nail class, don't use your kit if they have school stuff. Use the school stuff, because when you go for the test, the stuff has to be unopened. And it's kind of hard to find an odorless kit, and I believe they give you odorless inside of your kit. I don't know, depending on your school. My school gave me cheap crappy one. That's fine. Cheap crappy is good for the state test. I never opened it. And another thing, I had never opened it, and when I actually got to it to get the resin, and I'm so glad I put like extra glue in the bag, the resin was dried out. So if you forget something or something's dried out, it's not working, or if it leaked out, your best bet is to fake it till you make it. That's your best bet. Another thing I got here is that you're gonna have like a total of 7 bags, okay? I would say use your large bag for your manicure, which will be the first one. Use a large bag for your tip blend, or you could actually use a small Ziploc, because you don't really put that many things in that bag. The third bag would be your nail wrap. Your 4th bag would be your trash bag. That would be your extra large bag, the one you're going to tape to the table. And then 5 would be your sculpture nails. And bag 6 you're not really going to use, but it has to be in there. It's the blood spill bag. So if you split it up like that, you're not running through zippers looking for this, looking for that. You open up this big bag, reach in, get the first bag, boom, you gone. Set up your table. You done setting up, they'll tell you what to do next. Because they only give you so many minutes to do each part, but that's a tip. Make sure you label. Make sure you label all of them. This is probably gonna look a little backwards, but make sure you label them. Make sure they say pre-sanitize, what number bag and everything. They all have to say pre-sanitized. That's the rule for it. They all have to say pre-sanitized. Make sure you label them, so when you reach in there, you know what bag you're reaching for. Okay. And I don't know if every school give you this, but as far as like the state board check, what's in each bag is a breakdown. I have a list, and I really want to, if I can do it, I really want to go back and retype it because I wrote all over it and it looks really messy, and you probably won't be able to see it. But your first bag, which would be your manicure bag, it'll be one of the large bags that you're gonna put a label on. Okay, label. It's gonna say bag 1, pre-sanitized manicure, because that's the first step. If you're confused about the steps, or maybe you forgot, maybe it's been a long time, get on PSI. They have the link so you can download the actual bulletin. And what I did is I downloaded the bulletin and I practiced each step. Each step, just kept practicing, pretending I didn't open anything, because again, you want to save it. So you reach in, you get your bag, pull it out. Everything's on there. They give you a couple minutes to set up. And your first bag, which is the manicure bag, should be antiseptic. Antiseptic will be alcohol. So you need antiseptic. Mine's kind of leaked a little bit. It's worse now, but you could read it at first. Antiseptic. You want to get a little bottle of soap. I had bought a kit. I'm not saying that they still sell it. You might find one. I couldn't tell you, but I bought this kit from OPI. It was an odorless kit. It was a student kit. I think I paid like $20 for it. It was on clearance. It was on clearance. Inside of here has, I used some of it, so everything is not in here. It has alcohol, but I'm saving this. This that 99. That's that expensive stuff that works really good for gel tops. They give you a glass dapping dish. I use the dapping dishes from my kit because they're supposed to have a top on them. When you're not using them, they're supposed to be covered, so that you know. But they had like acrylic. They had the acrylic powder, the liquid acrylic. It had a brush in here. It had like a lot of stuff I used, but some of the stuff was not in here. Like I told you, say the stuff from your kit, like the wraps, the fabric wraps, the activator, the resin, stuff like that. If you can find one. I don't even think they sell these anymore. This is by OPI. I just still have the box because there's some stuff in here I haven't used. I believe other companies sell the odorless kit, but you know, I'm not sure. I found this one. It was 2 left. I bought one for me and my classmate, and I heard that they don't sell it anymore. So I don't know. But anyhow, lotion came inside of there. I of course had to buy a finger bowl. I did label my finger bowl, brushes. I had several of them already. Dry sanitizer. Dry sanitizer is cotton. Hand sanitizer. Disinfectant in the disinfectant jar. That was Barbicide. I took one of these, not the screw top, but just the regular, I mean, not the spray top, but just the regular screw top. I had Barbicide. I poured it in there and labeled it as disinfected. And then I had the disinfectant jar because I had 2 of these. Again, these were from my kit. I never opened them. Now I just use them for whatever. And it has a lid, of course. So you're going to put your dry, well, your wet in here, and then you're going to use the other one for your dry, which will be your cotton. Your implements. I put my implements in a little bitty snack bag. Nail pushers, wooden pushers, clippers, scissors, everything that you're going to use throughout that session. I put it in a Ziploc bag and labeled it pre-sanitized implements. And I just kept them out. So, you know, that was one extra step I didn't have to do. I just kept them out and kept them on the desk, because once you're done with that first bag, whatever's wet, whatever you spilled, wipe it up, clean it up. You move it to the next step. It's time to set up. And then you reach back in the bag, you take the next bag out. That's why you label and number them. Then you got to prep your hand. Of course, these were long nails. This is the same exact hand for my test. But my suggestion is to save the outer fingers for the test because they're on the edge. Why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? They're on the edge. Why wouldn't you use the ones on the edge where you're not bumping, messing up? Because they move so quick to the next step. When they do manicure, these fingers are not going to be dry. So, and this hand, again, was from my kit. I didn't use it. I had bought another hand. It's so ugly that I used throughout school and I used at school. I purposely saved this one for my test. And plus, you know, the fingers move. Why wouldn't I save it? When I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, because, yeah, you can practice with it. But if you're practicing paint and you got paint on here, when you got to take your test, they're going to think you got paint all over your hand because they mark you on that. When you're removing polish, you can't have polish on you or the mannequin. So my suggestion, save it. Use the school stuff. So for my test with my mannequin hand, they said it used to be red polish, now it says dark, but they said you could still use red. I did ask when I took my test, and if anybody wants to know, I took my test in Southfield at the Southfield Testing Center. But I painted this one on the edge. Trick with this, to get the paint off easily without making a mess, because you're supposed to hold the cotton between your fingers and wipe it down. I put 3 to 4 coats of top coat, because I ran out of the gel. You know, the gel is real slick. If you have a non-light UV gel, use it as a top coat, a base coat, and then paint your color on top. It glides off like butter. You don't have to work. I'm telling you, glides off like butter. You don't have to worry about accidentally doing anything. So then they told me to manicure the next 3, whatever, and then you put it in a bowl. Your hand not gonna fit in that bowl. They know that. I manicured them, painted them. You know, you're supposed to do 3 swipes because they hanging over your neck like this. You know, they supposed, I guess, it doesn't feel like or look like they're watching you. And then I use this one as my wrap, and I use this one as a tip blend and a wrap. It's on the edge. It was easy to get to. And then this one was the sculpted nail. You were supposed to extend it or whatever you could see it just a little bit. But yeah, they're gonna look at your hand. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do like that. They're gonna do this. They're gonna poke at it. They're gonna grab it. They're gonna scrub it. They're gonna rub it. Whatever. If you did it and you know you did your steps right, it don't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. You have to pretend that you didn't get it on the skin and like you're pulling the fingers back. So you should be fine. You shouldn't have nothing to worry about. Make sure you have your 2 towels. I took more than 2. My suggestion is take a roll of paper towel because I made a mess. I spazzed out on the first bag or the first step. I spazzed out and I was just like staring at the wall. Then I heard the other people moving around. I was like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be doing my manicure. So, yeah, I kind of spazzed out and I knocked something over. I didn't knock it on the floor. And the reason why I said bring extra paper towel, extra brushes, extra orange wood sticks if you have them, because once it's on the floor, you know you can't pick it up. That way, you know, you can not worry about stuff that fell on the floor. So, and bring you some tape so you can tape your bag. And your next bag would be like your tip blend. Make sure you have your tips, your file, 2 glues, paper towel, whatever cutters you're gonna use, and scissors. That's for your next bag. Bag 3 will be your nail wrap, fabric wraps, buffers. I had several of these, so I put some of those in there. Your file, it says 2 glues. I put extra glue. Like I said before, I had bought a glue and it was dried out. For the wrap, I was so shocked. I had just opened it, took the plastic off. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's dry. It was completely dry and it was new. That was a shocker. So they must have accidentally sealed an empty bottle or something. But yeah, bring extra glue just in case, because anything can happen Yeah, you got your activator, your paper towels, and your tweezers. And you go to bag 4, which will just be your trash bag. You don't put anything in there, but it has to be inside of your big bag with the rest of them. And then bag, where we at, 5, sculpture nail bag. You put your acrylic in there, your odorless liquid, the powder, file buffer, your brush, paper towels. I would just stick a roll in your big bag, I'm telling you, because I made a mess. And I thought it was gonna be marked down like, oh my god, I'm not gonna pass, because I had ran out of towels and I was trying to use towels and stuff. Anyhow, thank God for that. Make sure you have your dapping dishes with the tops and your primer. 6 is your blood spill kit bag. Make sure they're labeled, again, disinfected, antiseptic. You can use alcohol peroxide. You ain't gonna use it. You probably could put water in there, they wouldn't know. Gloves, paper towel, because you're really not gonna use that bag. You're using a plastic can. And 7 is just for your total cleanup. Your total cleanup bag is the same to me as this bag right here. That's what I use for the same one I brought everything into. This was my total cleanup bag. At the end, during all of it, at the end, I threw everything into the trash. I was just like, if I'm not using it for the next step, I threw everything in the trash. It's really not trash because you're not really using it. It's a mannequin hand. I use it at home for myself, whatever I get used. But yeah, that's it. If you got all of that stuff and everything, just, I mean, those are my little tips. Those are my little tidbits. Anything helps, you know, because I looked and I searched everywhere and I couldn't find anything to help me with my Michigan State Board test, because I was wondering about the colors because they had changed it. I had took my test 3 years later. I had other stuff going on. I had issues, money problems, that I couldn't pay for my tests, and schooling. It was just a lot. Moving. It was just too much, and then I put it to the side because I got kind of discouraged, because I was like, I'm not ready. I should have went right after school. Just go right after school. If you didn't and you waited, still go, because my test, they gave me like 1 or 2 sanitized questions. They didn't ask me any state questions at all. What else? Mine is basically about steps, manicures, pedicures, what you do after this, what do you do before this, what do you do with this, what do you do with that. That's basically what it was. I studied this cram thing for nothing. I got this off a cram, but the possibility is you could. They're supposed to be random questions, but somebody else that took the test said that they were really random. It was stuff they knew without even trying to work hard for it. But I would just study your diseases, the bacteria, and brush over a little everything, but don't overthink it. It's not as hard as you think it is. So that's it. That's all the little tips I have for the manicure state board test.